What is up, A-Team? Welcome back. AuzSOME here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day or not, depending on what, but I hope it's awesome. And yes, we're back at it today to talk more about crypto, to talk more about the markets and see where we're at today. There's actually some good news, some bad news. I guess you can take it for what it is out there. Obviously we're still coming down from the big tariff ordeal yesterday. They call it Liberation Day 2.0, which was like basically what it was back in April. Now we're back at it again here right now, with a couple more tariffs coming out here. You had obviously Trump coming out here talking about even putting tariffs on copper, right? And copper surged in terms of pricing right now. So the markets are reacting pretty heavily to what Trump is doing out there. And we've known this. We continue to know this. I think, like I said, there should be a Trump indicator out there as to when he tweets or whatever he says, because it obviously affects the market substantially. So one thing I want to put out there, though, is the markets, when it comes to just this next week, is going to be big. We obviously have the crypto week starting on this next week, or what they've actually, the House made an announcement that they were going to go over week of July 14th to talk about the Clarity Act and the anti-CBDCs. That's going to be a big week for crypto. I think a lot of people are going to get some clarity on that. Whether those things get enacted is one thing, but I mean, I think a lot of positivity is going to come from that. XRP being on the table there. We do know that Brad Garlinghouse is going to speak in front of the House, which will be good. So we'll have to sort of see how that plays out. But before I jump into everything else there, I do want to say what's up to the A-Team here. We got the first one in the house here was that one guy. What's up, man? We got F. Joe, Moto A-Team. What's going on, dude? We got Colonel in the house here. RPM. Good to see you. Crypto Mimi. What's going on? Let's see who else we got. Kevin. BP Kohler. What's up, man? What's up? Who else we got? We got a lot of you guys in here. Selma. What's up, Selma? We got Selma Fudd in the house. What's up, my guy? Appreciate you guys being here. We got Evan, Airsense, Scott, Trent. Good to see Trent. 808 Mimis, Crypto Stacks, what's going on? Crypto Homes, I'm scrolling a little bit fast. Hopium Days, good to see you guys. We're over here on TikTok as well. What's up, everyone here on TikTok? So let's jump into it right away here. We got some things to cover here. The big one right here is obviously the markets are down slightly over the last 24 hours. You can see about 0.7% down, which is not that bad over the last 24 hours. We started to have a little bit of a sell-off during the tariffs. We did not react near as bad as we did back on April when the whole tariff discussion came out. We had basically a complete fallout of the cryptocurrency market. I mean, we were losing like 30 or 40% of our values back in April. We did not have that bad of a reaction to the imposed tariffs from yesterday. 14 countries had imposed tariffs, which ranged from anywhere from 10%, which we just saw. The 10% actually came through. I think it was with the UK. I think the UK or the European Union just agreed to a 10% tariff with the United States. So that's positive. But then there were 13 other countries or 14 other countries that came out here, and it was kind of anywhere from 25 to 35%. So very interesting to see how that played out. But you can see in the last hour we've done pretty well. Like I told everyone here, basically looking at the charts for XRP, I probably wouldn't put anything in until probably 1300, which is about 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, before I make any moves when it comes to just crypto. Looking like a shorting event coming up here. We had a nice little rally this morning in the markets, which was good. You can see we actually came back looking pretty good, but overall the stock market's come down. You can see the S&P 500 finally fell into the red. This was like teetering between the green all day. I think when I looked at this earlier today, we were, roughly like 6 points up. Then it became 3 points up, and now we're almost 4 points down. The Dow has struggled all day long, and a lot of this has to do with Trump saying that there's going to be no extensions granted past the August 1st trade deadline. So, you got a lot of pressure right now from Trump on these markets in terms of where these tariffs go. So regardless of how you feel about the tariffs, regardless of whether you like them or not like them, doesn't matter what we think. All it matters is what Trump says. And right now it looks like they're going to continue to push down the throat, tariffs down the throats of other countries. And that's just is what it is, right? Regardless of how we like it or whether we do like it or not, that's just what it is. So you can see right now, NASDAQ literally flat. I mean, we're talking now plus 2 points up, so not too bad, but mostly flat across the day here. One big thing that came in today was Trump said he was going to impose 50% tariffs on copper imports, dude. And if you don't see, you can see right now, copper exploded. Copper prices surged as much as 20% after President Trump imposed a 50% tariff on copper imports, which is crazy. Like, out of all things, we're talking about copper imports being, tariffed to high levels, 50% tariffs on all copper. Wow. But, hey, man, play the game. You can see this thing went all the way up to 5.9, now back down to 5.54. That's a couple hours ago. So pretty wild to see that. You can see right here today we're doing copper. I believe the tariff on copper, we're going to make it 50%. I mean, it's just crazy. Trump says as soon he'll announce tariffs at a very, very high rate, like 200% on pharmaceutical imports. So you're going to have a lot more, not just on countries, but actually on industry. You're talking copper, pharmaceuticals. Who knows what else is out there, right? But realize that we're going to have some more This is going to have some more implications on the market. That's basically what it's coming down to. So are we finally going to get rich as nuts? Maybe. We got a Sharp Lincoln, Sharp. What does it say? Sharp Link gaming up 25%. I don't even know what that is, dude. Crypto Revenge, what's up, man? Well, yeah, we got Hopium Days. What's up, dude? Watchman, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Meredith. What is that? Gabriel Rose, new shirt. Yeah, I'm just wearing my blue polo today. BTCD looks like it's coming down. You're saying BTCD, yeah. BTC is. I mean, we're going to look at charts today. Obviously, we're still going to be getting in some shorts here. Yesterday was a really, really good day for crypto. For anyone that actually jumped in on shorts, we actually made some pretty good money. I mean, I almost made like close to what, $850 yesterday on shorts. It was a really, really good day for the short event that happened. I probably could have held a little bit stronger with my larger short, but I ended up saying that I told myself at 2% I was going to take profits. I sold at 2%. I stuck to it. It fell down to about 2.5%. Didn't really fall. It went from, I sold it at 226. It fell down to 225. So I did miss out on a little bit, but I did end up putting another little margin back in on that and picked up about, like I said, about another 150 bucks, somewhere in that ballpark, before I sold last night before I went to bed. So before I went to bed, I actually got out of my shorts because I was like, you know what, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to have a good night's sleep and not worry about them. And thankfully I did, because the market's actually rallied back. I mean, you can see XRP right now, right back to 231.55. I mean, this thing had a nice rally this morning, falling back down to 225. I mean, if anyone was actually longing this last night, I mean, this came over right around 1 o'clock or right around 4 o'clock. We started to come back out of this, and then right around 9 o'clock, we started to really roll out. And then by 1, we were definitely in a nice little surge upward. So if you were able to put a long in, you'd be up roughly about the almost 2-3% that's up right now. The big question is, what are we looking at for the markets coming today? Are we looking for a continued rally? Are we going to look for maybe another opportunity to short the market? What are we looking at here? Like I was telling everyone in Discord, is that a lot of the trends that we're seeing out here is looking like a potential shorting opportunity. However, there are potentials for short squeezes and things like that, which we were talking about in Discord as well. Obviously, there's massive amounts of volume coming into the markets right now, which you can see. I mean, even to raise this up 3%, there has to be some pretty good volume. But the game to be played right now is that a fair value gap is going to open up here in the next 4 hours, which is what I told everyone here. So I'm going to probably wait until about 1 o'clock before I start to really put my short in here. And the reason why is because, like I told you, a fair value gap will open up, and that will open up an opportunity to probably enter in at a higher price. And you can see right now at the time of this filming, we are actually going up in price. We started this at 23127. We're up to 2316. So we'll see if this comes up here by the end of 1 o'clock. But usually that's kind of where it's at. Plus the patterns on the RSI and even on the MACD have looked very similar to how the tariff discussions happened back in April, which is back over here. You can see that we have done the very, very similar pattern, almost identical in terms of price numbers here. So like even after we hit a top up here back in April of 27, we hit a price point of roughly 236. Yesterday, we hit a price point of 235, so we're up by 1 cent. The next day, we actually came back up and rallied to almost the same level where we're at right now, which is 231. We actually went a little bit higher today than where we rallied last time, around the exact same time frame. So it's kind of wild when you pull these back and look at these time frames. But what I'm saying here is that we had a massive, based off where the 4-hour chart was, we had this little fake pump right here on the 4-hour. Right here, we had another little fake pump, and then we came down. So like when you're looking at the 4 hours on the RSIs and trying to match them up, there's very similar trending. Very similar on how we treated these, on how it treated the 236. Like you can see we came up here and we came back down to the 236, right? And again, this would have been right here. And you can see we came back down to the 236 and then we came back up here, which we kind of readjust here. And we came back down to the 236. So you can see that 236 number is going to be another thing that we come off of right here. Boom, it comes back up and then probably maybe coming back down. But Very similar patterns. Like I'm saying, whether it's, again, I don't know if the market's going to rally tonight or not. I mean, everything's kind of saying that the market's flat across the board. The S&P 500 being down. You got the Dow's down by almost 140 points. The Nasdaq's falling down to 12 points. I mean, the market's coming down. You can see even right now the BTC's coming down. And based off what we're seeing, I mean, potentially a shortened event could happen. Short term, most likely, but I mean, you could definitely see things are lining up for there to be a potential shortened event, and a lot of it has to do with the RSI right here. So, looking down here on the RSI, you could see that we never fully got a relief. We actually stopped at the 20% marker and never actually fully relieved down here to closer to the 1 or to the 0 down here. Which is what we want. We want this to be relieved. You can see on the downturns here, we get these reliefs, right? If we never fully fall down and clear the bottom here, we usually continue. This will eventually come back down. I'm not saying that it can't bounce off the 20 and continue up, because we've had those happen before, but you can see usually if we don't fully clear it and come back up, we usually have another little downturn here. Something like this right here, even though we fully cleared it. But I mean, really what we're looking at something like that, something like this. This is probably the perfect one right here that recently that we just had. Where it didn't fully clear, and then we had like this almost like fake rally, went up to 50%, this is going to come up on the next 4 hour. I mean, we're going to come up to like probably close to this 50%. We had a nice little candle here. So something very similar to what we saw right here. Might not be as big of a relief right here, because you can see that big candle right there, which was pretty crazy. We had a nice little pump and then it came back down. Something that's happening here again that we're seeing. So these are just like little trends to monitor here. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but just things to monitor. I was showing it out over here. We had something very similar happen in the very similar trend here, where we had something come up. We didn't get our full relief down here. We did cross over, but we didn't get a full relief. And then we came back up, pumped back up, and then we came back down. Same with something similar here too. We came back up, right? Got a full relief, came back up, came back down, up, because we didn't get this full relief right here. Came back up again, and then came down. So we're starting to see these along here. We're starting to see them along here. And most likely we could see that along here where this comes up and then we come back down. So that's just what the trends are saying right now. Purely looking off trends, purely looking off that. I mean, there's no science to this shit, dude. Let's be honest. This is just literally this is like philosophy out here. We're looking at, it's astrology. We're just trying to look at patterns, trying to look at where we're at. But we will probably come back down and touch this 236 at some point. You can see there's definitely a fair value gap right at the top of the 236 on the 4 hour. And the reason why I'm sticking to the 4 hour here is because the 4 hour is actually it's actually a pretty easy chart to follow. You start to get to the 12 hour. The 12 hour's got a little convoluted. You can see right here, this has become like unstable to track on the 12 hour RSI. So I just pulled back to the 4 hour, because the 4 hour has actually been a little bit clearer in terms of trying to read where the charts are going. So that's kind of why I stuck to the 4 hour right now. Just call it what it is. When the rich want to invest, it will go up. Well, no, I think a lot of people are still playing the game. But yeah, I mean, when money comes into the markets, yeah, the price is going to go up. But I mean, we're just talking about the next 12 hours. Like, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours is kind of where we're talking about right now. And where the price action is going to go from here. But yeah, you're right. I mean, when you zoom out on this whole thing, I mean, I was talking about this yesterday. When you talk about the M2, the money supply out there, I mean, when that money starts to come into these markets, yeah, we're going to rally across the whole front. But if we're talking about just small margin trades right now, that's kind of where we're at. And you can see even right now at BTCC is in the similar pattern, right? It's just a very similar boat right now of where we just were. Both on an R. Look at this. Last time we had this little rally right here. We came up. We didn't get a full relief right here. We did come down into the 14s, but we didn't come all the way down. We had a nice little pump. Then we came down and reset again. So something's very similar here. Almost another one right here where we didn't get the full relief, come back down. So we'll see what happens if this actually trends downward. But you can actually, I put this up here. Let me go back down. I think we had another, a lot of people here on the channel sort of like the MACD here. You go back and you kind of look at the MACD here. This is also another trend that we're seeing. We're actually trending downward right now. We're almost coming back down into bearish territory here on the MACD. And it's going to almost cross the 0 here. And when it crosses that 0, I mean, you're kind of in this territory here where we start to trend downward, So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, but you can start to look at the very similar trends of where this goes. Like we had here, we went up here, we came down, had another peak, came down below. We came up here, came down, had another peak, and most likely coming down below. So I mean, again, just looking at trends, that's all we're looking at. So, hey, what's up, XRP Bandit? Deb, what's going on? Not sure if 15-minute means anything, but bearish divergent on the stock. I mean, yeah, a lot of people like the 15. I don't really trade on that level. That's more, again, I try to trade on I try to zoom out a little bit more. I try to hold mine for at least 24 to 48 hours. And then sometimes it's 12 hours, depending on what it is. So are you thinking short till tomorrow morning before the Wednesday FOMC pump? We'll see, dude. Talk about the FOMC. There was a tweet that just came out here. I mean, President Trump came out here and said that Congress should investigate Fed Chair Jerome Powell. And so the chances of this actually happening is probably pretty high. I mean, I don't know what this will do for the markets if Trump actually comes out here and kind of pushes Congress to, I mean, obviously Congress is in his corner, but have them investigate Fed Chair Jerome Powell, being that they're saying that he's playing, the politics game. He's being politically biased towards, the reasons why they haven't lowered the rates. And as you guys know, the inflation's come down below 2%. So it's come down below the Fed's target. Today, inflation actually hit a pretty good number across the board. There was a lot of tweets out there or posts out there in regards to it, in regards to where things were. But the FOMC meeting minutes will come out, and it'll be interesting to sort of see what's said here. I don't know if it's necessarily going to cause anything in the market, to be honest with you. They tend to, when we get the meeting minutes out here, we don't really see a whole lot. They might make a few changes here and there, but yeah. And right now you can see, let's just pull up the Fed calendar here. You can see that we have at the end of the month, we do have 29th and 30th, we have a Fed hearing, or we have basically where a meeting will come out here and we'll discuss whether they lower rates. And the chances are very small that they actually come out and lower the rates here on the 30th. And as you guys can see, August, they have a break. So, these are the months where you go, oh crap, because even up here, February is where we have the break. Then we come down here and we have August where we have a break. So they're saying September is going to be our first rate cut here. So everyone's anticipating, September being, right there at the end of Q3 going into Q4, we're going to have a nice little rally in the market. I mean, like that's what everyone's anticipating. I don't know if we're going to see rates cut in July. I mean, if we do, it's going to freaking explode. I mean, it'll be the first shock to the market that we've had. You start to lower rates, you start to introduce more money to the market. That's just simple as that. I mean, it really is. I know people don't look at it like that, but I mean, 2016 is a perfect example of that happening. And then towards the end of this year, right? The rates got cut at the end of 2024, going into 2025 here. And what do you think happened? I mean, we had a massive rally going into December and January, not just because Trump, got elected and that probably helped fuel it, but you knew that there was a massive pump coming because of the rate cuts. So rate cuts are a huge part of this. I get people are probably against rate cuts. You got Jerome Powell here talking about all the reasons why he hasn't done rate cuts, but everyone wants rate cuts to happen. And, that's going to bring in the most money into the markets. And I think a lot of us want that. Personally me, I mean, like I want there to be a rate cut, dude. I want to refinance some stuff. You know what I mean? Right now you can't even refinance without getting completely obliterated on an APR standpoint. So even from a house standpoint, if you want to go buy a home right now, the housing rates are just so high. All the interest rates are high across the board, and if you can start to bring that down to a certain level to where it makes it manageable, people can refinance, do certain things. It brings more money into people's pockets. That's what it comes down to, which then allows them to invest in other things. So simple as that. Rate cuts till later this year before Christmas. Yeah, well, definitely. And they said still 2 or more rate cuts. So whether it's 2 or more or just 2, doesn't matter. Towards the more that they push this down, the kick this can down the road, the bigger the pop will be. I mean, we always said that the more you suppress something, the bigger the pop. And so like the more you suppress the price on something, it's like supply and demand, dude. The more you suppress it, the bigger the bang is going to be. It's like a firework, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens here. But yeah, you can already feel that if July 29th through the 30th does not get a rate cut, we'll probably have some negativity in the market based off that, but there could be some positivity towards the end of August, which is exactly what happened in 2020, dude. 2020, 2021 was almost a very similar pattern, where we kind of went through this lull in the summertime, like right around July, August, and then into September we had the rates going up, or the rate cuts coming in, and dude, it was like kind of crazy, and that's when we had our major bull run. So. A positive Dave is here. Do we have positive Dave? Hell yeah, dude. Positive Dave of the day. That's awesome. We're actually holding above the 230 finally. Yeah, we are. We should investigate yeah, dude, the North Texas pepper gal. That's kind of wild. My whole feed was filled with that yesterday. I was so sick of looking at all this stuff. I was like, dude, this is just too much. What is a positive Dave? I don't know. We got to come up with when we see a positive Dave, what that means. Hey, by the way, I do have some new emojis in the chat. Just to let everyone know, there was a few emojis I added last night to the A team members out there. So, but yeah, we have the FOMC meeting right there. We're gonna wait here for another 40 minutes to see where the market goes here. Like I said, you can see the stock market has been slowly going down since I started streaming here. So this is going to get interesting. You can see that Bitcoin has come, it's kind of hanging around there, around this 109. You can see XRP has actually gone up in price. It's almost to 232, which is exactly where it opened up on the 4 hour. 232. This one peaked today at 232.30. Like I said, we'll definitely see this 4 hour. This 4 hour is definitely kind of an interesting, like I said, it's kind of an interesting look on this. We go to the 12 hour. This is where it gets a little even more. 12 hour look at this, dude. 12 hour is completely different. And this is why it's been a hard thing to judge, because the 12 hour has just been so off. But it's looking like a nice little rally upward. And you typically have a peak here, and then you'll have another peak. We'll see if this 12 hour will continue to trend. The 12 hour is actually looking really good. Like I said, so if you're going to short this, it should be for a short period of time in all reality, because this is the 12 hours looking good. The day chart, just peaking back above here. But you can see every time that we peak back above it, we kind of have this little downfall, right? Almost to the same level last time right here in the same time frame. Look at this on the day chart. This MACD, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can see right here, anytime we peaked right above it, we went up roughly to about 0.02. And right now we're at 0.02 again. We hit this peak up here, and then we came down and had a little bit of a relief before the next rally. So, I mean, like, this is the window you're looking for right here. And you can see that. I mean, that's kind of what you're kind of going for right here, is this little peak right here to come back up. We're going to peak over here. We'll probably come down, touch the zero again, and then go back up. That's kind of the trend I'm looking at, dude. Austin, is there an update on the Pure Wallet? Any other updates? Yeah, so I just actually got done my batch. The Pure Wallet actually has MoonPay in there now, which is awesome. They added the little to make it encrypted on your phone, like the little Wi-Fi symbol. So that's back in there. They got MoonPay that's in there now, so you can actually buy crypto inside the wallet. Wallet Connect actually works now, so they partnered with Wallet Connect now to get it's on Wallet Connect, which is awesome. So there's a lot of things you can do. You could go and use it on Uniswap, PancakeSwap, just a lot of things you can use it on now. So that should be coming out here soon, hopefully in the next few days. So I'm kind of excited about where Pure Wallet's going to be here in the next couple weeks, if not month. Most likely, they're probably looking for. But to be honest, they're probably looking for end of Q3, beginning of Q4 launch date. If I had to put it out there, you guys do know that Pure Chain is coming out. Pure Chain is going to be dropping in October, and they might be holding off until launch Pure Wallet with Pure Chain on the Pure Chain, and it'll be the first token on the Pure Chain. That's kind of where I'm maybe thinking. Like I said, I haven't talked to him about that. I don't know. I'm just trying to put my thought to it. As to like what the smart move would be if I were a developer, and that's what I would do. I would just wait. If Pure Chain's gonna be dropping in October, I would just wait to launch it on Pure Chain, and then now you have it on the Pure Chain, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. But it's up to the team to decide what they want to do. I'm not the developer of it, so if I were the developer of the team, that's what I would do. Why would I launch it on another blockchain if I'm about to launch a blockchain? Makes no sense. Nice. That would be good. Excellent for Pure Chain. Oh, dude, it'd be great. You would just provide the liquidity to the Pure Chain. You'd be able to launch it on the Pure Chain. All of it would be able to go through the Pure Chain. So, I mean, like, that's me personally what I would do. I'm be 100% honest with you guys. So, and yes, the Pure Chain, the Pure Wallet token is still out for pre-sale. It is still on pre-sale right now. And we'll see what happens here. I'm hoping that it gets to an 8-cent launch period. So we got in at 4 cents. I hope it at least gets to an 8 cents. That's kind of where I'm at. So in talking and all that, we did reach 232 just now. So this is actually playing out exactly how I thought it was going to so far. We'll see if it happens. It went up to 232 again. Just right now, we actually hit 232.30 is the top of this, and we're climbing right now. And I think that we might peak out, dude. I said this. We might peak out at 4 o'clock or at 1300, which is 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then that could be the time where we potentially come in and short. You can see right now on the day chart, look at this, dude. The day is up to almost 100%. We peaked at 100% here on the day chart. So realize that we're at almost 100%, 99.72 on the day chart. Up on the 12-hour, we just reached back across this. And I'm going to say, just like I told everyone else here, if we never come down and actually fully satisfy the bottom here, like we've never satisfied the bottom of the full, of these falls right here, eventually we're going to come down and reset here. This is going to happen. It happened here. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. And then we came down and reset. We're actually on a fourth pump right here without a reset. So, I mean, that's kind of unique. I mean, we haven't really had like a 4 peak. I tried to go back and look, like maybe right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We had one like right over here, which was back in October 2024. That was way back over here. Maybe one right here, 1, 2, 3. Now, see, like we're on our fourth peak right now coming out of this. So this is going to come back down and reset. I don't care what anyone says. You can't change my mind on that. So scams don't bounce. Bull trap. It could be, yeah, right. Shorts will get wrecked this time. We'll see. We'll see 6-stringer. I mean, again, we're talking short periods. We're not talking like long-term periods. We're talking, when we talk about shorts, like I said, we're talking like a 24-hour window of shorting. We're not talking like, 2 weeks or months. We're talking 24 hours here, 24 to 48 hours in terms of a short. So I want to make sure that's clear. When I talk about shorting here, we're talking in terms of like a 24 to 72-hour window if you're going to do a move, right? That's typically what you do. And I mean, you're trying to follow the indicators because the indicators will follow anywhere from a 2 to 3 day trend based off of what the indicators are saying. And I mean, if this starts to fall, we're going to actually go into, a certain day of trending. I mean, you can see right here, this was 2 days of a downturn right here. We had 1 day of an upturn, 1 day of a downturn, 1 day of an upturn. But I mean, you typically follow these patterns, right? 4 days of a rally right here, followed by 1 day of a reset. 2 days of a rally, 2 days of a reset. So I mean, you're going to have a reset somewhere in here. You can see there's a fair value gap sitting right on the top of the 236 on the day chart. So like that 225 is a very valuable number, 225, and the chances of it coming back down and hitting that 225 is very likely. I mean, like that is like well within the realm of possibility. I mean, like we're talking a pretty high chance that it comes back down and touches that 236 level right here. And the reason why is because that's a perfect number on a retracement. We're talking roughly, what is that, 4%? I mean, and you're talking, that's from the peak of yesterday. Right now you're talking almost a 3% down to that, a 2.75 to the top of the fair value gap, which is 225. Like, dude, that's like well within the range of possibility. Like, just being open and honest about where that's going. Dude, Deb, thanks so much for being a member for 6 months. Wow, Deb. 6 months. It's crazy, dude. Hit that button. Appreciate you. Yeah, smack that like button. Thank you so much. Do you have Velo or Stronghold token? I do not, 6-stringer. I do not have Stronghold. It could be a breakout level, and it very well could, right? I'm not saying that I'm 100% right in any of this, right? You can look at the day chart. The day chart's looking very strong. And trust me, I've been wrong and I've been wrong a lot. We got wrecked on the Vietnam news. I completely got. I was open and honest, dude. I was expecting there to be a short. All indicators were saying short the market. Vietnam news came out. Boom, dude. It took off, right? So you could see though, last time that we were up at these levels for this long period of time, we eventually did have a reset here, and you can see that we've been up these levels. And last time we were at this level of being up at the top right here was back at this time frame. Again, the same time frame I'm talking about here. This will come down to a relief before we take the next leg. Just like we saw right here. You could be right, 6-stringer, though. This is something that's well within the possibility of happening. But there could be a relief to this based off of where just the indicators are aligning, right? So just look at the indicators. And when multiple indicators start to tell you one thing, like you can see we're already tapped out up here. So like, could you reach this level? I mean, it didn't reach that level until there was a little bit of relief to then pump that next level. So indicators say otherwise, but I mean, indicators aren't always 100% right. Indicators are wrong too, dude. That's why if the indicators were always right, we'd always win. I'd probably be so rich that I would be living in a glorious house on the side of Malibu, swimming in the ocean today. I wouldn't be streaming. But since indicators aren't always 100% correct, we sometimes lose. This is my wife, dude. The bow rat's amazing, dude. Ali G, Ali G, dude, like those that was like some of the best times. Bo Rat, Ali G, crazy, dude. Respect, respect. This is my wife. Dude, that's like some of the best times right there. RSI can cool with the price movements. Yeah. Interesting. Maybe you're a surfer, dude. Maybe. I used to be pretty good. My kind of my sport and kind of one of my sports I would do on the side every summer was we wakeboard and wake surf. That was like our big thing that we do, dude. Like wakeboarding was huge. All summer long we just wakeboard. Um, yeah. Yeah, I used to be able to do like I used to be able to do 360s, 180s, flips. Yeah, I could do it all. Not now. Not now. I don't do it anymore. I've come to realize that I'm just old, and the last thing I want to do is be a weekend warrior where I come back with like torn ACLs. Cruising in a Lambo minivan with the fam, dude. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Interesting, maybe. Yeah, it looks like the 232 resistance may finally be weakening. Yeah, 1 o'clock. We're 30 minutes away. 30 minutes away will tell us a lot. And I got to actually stop at. I have a hard stop at 1 o'clock. Just to let you guys know, I got to jump off. As soon as 1 o'clock hits, I got to jump off. So we're talking 30 minutes at max. Austin, need the chart out my baby Phoenix. Oh, hell no. Yeah, no way. No way. So you can see right now, and this is playing out with, look at that. Bitcoin finally broke. It was at 109, 109.2 at one point today. Sorry, 109. It was at 109.2. Yeah, 109.217 right there. Yeah. And it finally just broke back into the 108s. So we'll see how this plays out. 4 hours was looking like another little, we're going to have a nice little run up here. And we very well could still with it. But the MACD is actually coming down just slightly. Starting to meet back up here. So we'll see if that actually continues the trend or not. 1 hour is definitely coming down over the 1 hour, which again, this will probably come up and have a relief, something like we saw here where it comes up, hasn't fully relieved on this pump right here. So yeah, it could be a fake pump and come back down. 4 hours looking like that as well. 12-hour is coming down, and the day chart is coming down. Everything's coming down on the day. You can see that the MACD is kind of coming back over here. 12 hours doing the same thing. It's starting to trend downward. So to me, that's telling me like a Bitcoin short could come back in. And we're trying to get back down to this 104 level here, which we're trying to get down to the yesterday and the day before is we're trying to get down to this 104, but we'll see if we get back down to the 104 level, which is a huge level of support, anywhere from 105 to 104, this area of support, which you can see it bounced off. And it very well could come back down and fill this fair value gap at 104, right on the 236 level here. That very well could happen. That very well could happen right here. It's well within play. Again, we're trying to align and trying to find our levels here. So day chart still has a ways to go here, but Bitcoin short is like right there on the table, right? It's right there for the taking. I feel like we need to retest 105 zone. XRP is the only one that needs to do it. At 105, real whales will come. I remember the price action at those levels. I hope you remember too. I mean, yeah, that was some crazy times at 105. I mean, it was crazy times at 32 cents too. And then it went up to 50 cents, sat around 55, 60 cents for a while, and then ran, you know what I mean? So 225 is the number. It's always been the number, Ian. 225 has always been the number. Anyone that's been here with the A team since January knows that 225 is the number. 225 has always been the number. You guys can go back and look at my track record, dude. 225 has been the number, dude. I think I've called 225 because it always falls on massive support levels. I couldn't tell you how many times we played out that 225 number and made money. That 225 is like the money-making number, dude. We played it out yesterday. It came down to 225. Made $850, right? What are we going to do now? We're going to wait for this thing to play out, and we're going to come down and watch it hit 225 again. Because we're in 2025. That is actually pretty funny, Lorenzo. Learned a ton. I have that doubled my BTCC account in the past week. Goal is to get this count to 10K. I started with $200. Andrew, I'm with you, bro, dude. That's awesome, and I'm super pumped that Andrew's been killing it. A lot of people have been doing really, really well. You definitely always called 225. Yeah, Moist Mike. Yeah, I mean, people have been here know. People that have been here know 225 has been the number. It is pretty funny how that's worked out over 6 months, right? 6 months of calling 225, and it's actually hit a lot. It's pretty weird. But that's what the indicators are saying. It's not me just making up a number. I mean, that's literally what the levels are saying. Like, I'm not just throwing it out. I'm not just pulling numbers out my ass. Like, it's just what numbers are saying. You know what I mean? 325 would be nice. I'm keeping it real. I'm with you, dude. 325 would be nice. I'm 100% with you on that. Crow, let's go. Is Crow doing well? Like I said, I don't really mess around with Crow a whole lot. There's probably a lot of people out here that do mess around with Crow. I don't really touch Crow a lot. It's up 20%. Gosh, dang. Shows you how much I don't pay attention. Yeah, Crow's just not my thing. It has never been my thing since the last bull run. But, dude, that's great. For anyone that got in on these, I mean, dude, kudos to you guys. Especially if anyone got on the leverage side of that, dude. But it's back up to 9 cents. Kudos to that. This thing was atrocious for a long time. You know, at one point, this thing was up to 52 cents. People were buying this at 51 cents. I even thought about it at 51 cents, I think, 45 cents. Rode this thing all the way down. Crow was actually probably one of my bigger losses in crypto. If I had to be honest with you, Crow might be one of my bigger losses just in terms of like long-term holding. But I mean, you know, at the bottom of the bear market, we're down to almost 4 cents. So yeah, kudos to anyone. But it took you this long to double your money if you bought back in 2022. So you're talking 3 years to double your money, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I guess you could have doubled it back over here in December of this year when it got up to 20, 30 cents. So yeah, it's just not my thing. Ada and Crow are kind of on the same lines for me. Like, they're just not sexy enough for me. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't follow it at all. But kudos. If you're winning in Crow, I love it, dude. I'm so happy for you guys if you won in Crow. And same with anyone in Ada, dude. Look at the X in Trump's hair. H-bar is my biggest bag, and it's heavy. Mine too, Rebecca. I got a big bag of H-bar too. It's not my biggest, but it's definitely a heavy bag. And H-bar coming back around is going to be really nice. You know, and let's take a look. We haven't looked at H-bar today. We have some other things to talk about here. I mean, I didn't pull it up here. You know, some other news here. Obviously, the recession thing's big. Before we jump into H-bar, the recession thing's big right here. I mean, this has fallen to the lowest level since January at 19%. Dude, that's fantastic. I mean, I don't see a recession happening. I mean, you have Jerome Powell coming out saying there's not a recession happening. This is what's crazy, though. This is actually a really wild number. It says Bitcoin's unrealized profits hit 1.2 trillion, raising the risk of sell pressure and if sentiment shifts. So this just shows you there's over $1.2 trillion in profits sitting with Bitcoin, unrealized profits right now. That means that literally almost everyone that's bought Bitcoin is sitting in profits. Almost everyone, because every time this hits a new all-time high, that means that the people that bought below are in profits. So right now, with Bitcoin coming back and almost hitting its all-time high again, majority of the people that bought into Bitcoin, that there'll be some people that bought the top, you know, for the first time ever, and they bought the top and they're sitting there. But I mean, right now, we are sitting here at 1.2 trillion. You realize how much $1.2 trillion is? Like, $1.2 trillion is a massive number. And you guys ever look at like that chart where it shows you, where it shows you like $1 to $1 million to $1 trillion? Like, has anyone ever actually looked at that, what that actually looks like? It's wild, dude. It's such a wild number. It's like not even fathomable. I know it sounds crazy. And this is what I was talking about. Looking at this right here. Like, here's what $10,000 looks like, right? I've shown this before on the channel here. This is what $10,000 looks like. It's like one rack. And then over here's 100 million. It's a pallet of $100 bills. Then 1 billion or 100,000 is like a little tiny thing here. Then a billion, 100 million is a pallet. Then 1 billion is 6 pallets. And then you look at 1 trillion and it's literally double stacked pallets for as far as the eye can see. I mean, this is like how small the guy is. And it's like, I don't think people really realize like the difference between 1 billion to 1 trillion, like what that actually looks like. And so when you start to really like think about, people are like, oh, it's just $1 trillion. And no, it's not just $1 trillion. This is massive, dude. So if anyone, realize that, yeah, there's going to be a massive amount of sell pressure come bear market. It's going to happen, dude. It happened last bear market. It's going to happen again this bear market. You guys asked the question, why will the price of Bitcoin reach the previous all-time high? I had a question come in. And they said, Austin, in Discord, they said, Austin, I don't know if I necessarily agree with you that the price of Bitcoin will reach the previous all-time high during this bear market. And I'll tell you the reason why is because the majority of people that hold Bitcoin are people like you and I. Yeah, institutions hold a large amount of it, but they're not the largest holder of it. They're actually a small fraction of how much Bitcoin is owned. Bitcoin is owned by the people. It's not actually owned by institutions. Yeah, institutions might run it. There might be market makers out there and exchanges out there that can manipulate the pricing, but a majority of the people that hold it are the people, you, me, and a bunch of other people that are out there. Hundreds of, millions of people out there that are holding Bitcoin. We are actually the holders, and the institutions want us to sell our Bitcoin so they can actually get their hands on it. That's really what it comes down to. So when the price gets manipulated and things like that, they're really trying to shake us from our boots to get us to sell our Bitcoin, because they want to actually hold Bitcoin because it actually is valuable. And eventually, the price of which you got Bitcoin at, you'll never get that price again. That's the whole goal of it, right? And so the more that these institutions hold up Bitcoin, the harder it is for you to actually get your hands on Bitcoin. So realize that if you do go and sell this during the next bull run and it goes out into the markets, it's going to fall down. Like eventually people are going to sell this and then the institutions are going to come up and buy the bottom of this market. That's what they're waiting for. This might be the last. I know we say this all the time. And if you actually follow anyone in crypto, you probably heard this before. But people always say that this might be the last bull market in crypto. We said this last bull market and it didn't happen, but this actually might be the last bull market of Bitcoin because of how many people actually hold this. And if people actually go through and sell their Bitcoin in this bull market, that's going to open up the door for so many institutions to come and buy the bottom of this Bitcoin, to where people like you and I will never own that Bitcoin again for that price. That's the goal. That's the goal of these institutions. And so what's going to happen in this bull run, we're going to hit some really good numbers, right? Maybe we'll get to $250,000, per Bitcoin. People are going to sell. And what's going to happen is you're going to have a massive amount of people that are going to sell. Millions of people are going to sell their Bitcoin, not institutions. Institutions might sell a little bit, but it's going to be people like you and I that are going to sell our Bitcoin. And it's going to bring that price back down to the previous bull run's high, which is going to be $68,000. So you got to realize the last bear market, we went down to $17,000 for the last bear market. We're going to come back down to $68,000. And that's when the institutions like BlackRock, Grayscale, Fidelity, Trump, all these other people that have these ETF companies are going to come in and swoop in and buy that up, and it's going to skyrocket back up to $250,000. And people like you and I will never touch Bitcoin again because we just sold out. We won't be able to afford we won't ever be able to afford one Bitcoin. So that's what's going to happen. Mark my words, dude. Come back 4 years from now, dude. We'll talk about the same crap. I guarantee it, dude. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, dude. You ever start the margin trading group again, Austin? I need to. I need to for sure. I haven't done that. I need to do it, but I keep falling back on it. Like I really want to start the VIP, A-team VIP stuff. But like the one thing that's like getting me is like, I never wanted to make this a job. And doing that's going to make it a job. And so I'm like always on the fence of like whether I push the start button or not. As soon as I hit the start button, I got to like really focus and like put a lot of attention into it for everyone here. Like, the VIP group, Andrew, they want the VIP, like the A-team VIP in Discord. The one I've been saying I was going to release. I just, I'm always back on the fence. Like, yeah, I know XRP, I know crypto, Mimi. Like, I want to do it because like I know a lot of the A-teamers want it, and I really want to help people out and like all that. Like, I really do. But at the same time, I'm like, I do this for fun. Like, I don't do this for anything other than just having fun. And like, I'm always afraid that like if I commit to it, it no longer becomes fun. And but then it becomes like. Then it just becomes a job, right? And I don't ever want this to become a job. This is just fun, right? That's all I've ever wanted. And so as much as I really want to do it, I get all eager for it. I'm like, I should probably pump the brakes just a little bit, because like as soon as I do that, like I'm committed, and then it becomes a job. So just realize that's where I'm at. Not saying I will never do it. I'm kind of like, I'm pumping the brakes just a tad bit on it. Okay. Then you become a YouTuber. Dun, dun, dun. I know, right? And I don't want necessarily, I do this for fun. I started the channel for fun. I got to levels I never thought I'd get to. I didn't realize I'd have this many subscribers. I didn't realize I was going to be talking, doing this much stuff. And like, I just appreciate everyone being here. And yeah, you can help without making it a job. Seriously, only do what you love. You are great to have around. I appreciate you creeping with me. Always making me feel better. Do you think you can maybe make a how-to video for beginners for short and long in BTCC? Yeah, I think I could do that. I do think I could do that, to be honest with you, Rebecca. And I'll probably do it. If I do it, I'll probably only release it to members only, just like you said. That's probably what I will do. I've had a lot of requests on that, so that's what I'll do. As you can see, the market right now is getting close to the 1 o'clock marker right now, and the market's actually coming down right now. So like I said, I was waiting for the 1 o'clock to come around. And there could be a little pump coming in here. Maybe not. You know what I mean? We might be late to the short game on this one, to be honest, because I am going to put a short in at 1 o'clock, regardless of where this goes. I was hoping that maybe we're going to come up to 3.2. Maybe that little pump about 20 minutes ago was kind of the pump that we were supposed to see when it hit up to 3.22. We'll see. We're going to still wait this out for the 1 o'clock marker. We'll see. I'm not going to be eager, but the short is going to come in today for me, just to let you guys know. And we'll see how it does. We'll see how it does. How-to video would be great. Okay, I could do something like that. I could definitely jump on that for sure. So what do you think is the best potential for someone? What do you think has the best potential for someone looking to throw 1K at Bitcoin? If you're first time, Brandon, first time buying crypto, I honestly think you should buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to go up in value, dude. In this, a lot of people are jumping on it. Have a great afternoon. See you guys later. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, appreciate you being here, Rebecca. Yes, we trade on BTCC. I put the link in the description box just to let you guys know. Or actually, it's in the little chat there. That's where the majority of us trade. Some of us don't. Some of us use other exchanges. But the reason I use it is because of the no KYC. The state of Washington, it's kind of a pain in the ass. Bitcoin at 250K would change my life. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Scott. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would just invest in the top cryptos, man. I wouldn't touch anything else. How much you have, of course, they'll kiss and make up. It's all for show. Sometimes it feels like that, yeah. What do you think you'll be shorting XRP? Yeah, XRP, I'll probably do in Bitcoin too, yeah. Bitcoin, Ethereum's been a little bit, Ethereum's kind of pissed me off a little bit. Let me be honest with you guys. Ethereum's kind of like, Ethereum's got me all riled up, dude. Ethereum's it was sort of easy to read, and then became super unpredictable, all of a sudden. So you can see the 4 hours coming up here, 12 hours actually working its way up as well. That's why I said, like, this was working its way down, never fully got a relief here. So I was like, okay, we might have a little pump here. Then it continued all the way up. Like Ethereum's become really hard. Let's look at H-bar here real quick. H-bar is another one. Look at the 12-hour chart. This is not a normal 12-hour chart for H-bar. I mean, you can go back and look at the RSIs on this, and you'll never see a trend. You will not see a trend like this where we peak 4 times above the 80. It just doesn't happen, dude. We don't peak 4 times above the 80. Like, you don't see that. You see it 3 times here. You see it 2 times there. I mean, you don't go back in the history. You see it maybe back in June of 24, we almost peaked. This one almost got the 4 peak, but it didn't. That was back in June of 2024, almost a year ago. But this one actually peaked above the 80. So, like, this is actually setting itself up to be a little bit of a fall. Same with this one. I mean, we're up to the 98% now for this. I mean, like, again, I don't want to be a bear, but at the same time, indicators are telling us that, like, we are, like, on our way. We are on our way down. But I would wait to short this till it reaches back over here, unless it gets rejected at the 0. It's almost on the verge of getting rejected at the 0 on the day chart. So, but yeah, it's kind of interesting. Play of the day, perhaps shorting XRP. Yeah, play of the day is gonna be shorting XRP for sure. That's where I'm gonna wait for the 1 o'clock to turn around here. And like I said, I could totally miss this call, dude. Like, you can see the 4 hours at the bottom right here. I want to see where this 4-hour candle goes. Does it go up here to the 50? Does it only go up a little bit? If it only goes to, like, maybe, let's just say it's sitting right now at 32. If it only goes to like 40 and doesn't fully get above the 50, I probably won't short. If it goes above this 50, like a clear signal like this, that could be a hard one too, because you can go, wait a second, like, is it going to actually continue upward? So if it hits this 50, a little bit below this 50, I might actually then short. So, but you can see over here on the 4 hour that our MACD is actually coming back up. You can see the 1 hour is coming on its way up here. The 12 hour is peaking right now. The day chart is peaking. So, like, nothing's telling us, like, shorting's a risk. Like, if you short this, like, you're actually risking a lot. So realize that it's the game. You're trying to play the game. Some indicators are saying not to short. Some indicators are saying to short. So, you're trying to take an educated guess. And right now, again, I'm going to try to take an educated guess. Last time we're talking, like I said, we're talking roughly from its peaking of this, we're talking roughly 1%, almost 2%. So you're going to, again, if it peaks back up here at 235, you're playing that 1.5% game for the chances of you gaining roughly 2%, 3%. So you're playing the 1% game to play the 3% game. So it's up to you. Yeah, it's up to you on how you want to look at it. Volume is dropping pretty significantly. Yeah, today The 8th was the last day for Trump's 90-day pause on tariff. I was hoping we had dips for $2. Huh. He did come. I mean, he did come out and put some pretty big. You can see right now. So the S&P is actually going to close. It's going to close in the red. It looks like. Nasdaq's coming back slightly back into the green. That's not like crazy, but yeah. British regs will, when we flip the switch, all based on central banking for now. Interesting. BTC, ETH, and Tether don't pass British regulations. Really? Bullish on Pepe still? I mean, for a meme coin, yeah. I mean, Pepe's up there. I mean, it's been a meme that's been hung around for a long time. Yeah, I mean, it's if Ethereum runs, it's going to run too. So won't you pay less in fees to do less transactions? Usually it plays out like that. So let's actually bring in, 31374. So it is getting a little late hour pump back up to 31765. Again, 3214 is kind of where the number is at for the 4 hour. I might just have a tiny of a degen coin just for, okay. Trump extended the deadline to August 1st. Yeah, it is August 1st. That's correct. But I think he said, didn't he say in there, no extensions will be granted to August 1st. So no extensions. I mean, Paul, I'm probably playing the 225 again. If I do, like I said, if the short comes in here, I'll probably play the 225 again. And again, I'm just do what's best for you. Do what you think aligns with you. I'm just doing what aligns with me. And I've been wrong before. I'll be the first to admit it. I could be wrong now. So, this could actually rally up to 240. I don't know. I'm just saying, right now, the day chart's been up here for an extended period of time. I played this out yesterday on date ranges. You can see right here, last time this thing peaked out was right here on April 11th. We reached above the 80. And last time we fell, that was almost right there. We fell below on 19 days. So we were up here for 19 days right here. 19 days. And you can see right here, if we do it again, we started up here on this date. Oops. We started on this date right here. And I mean, we're now sitting over roughly 13 days right there. Is that right? Yeah, that's 13 days. Where was that? We've been up here for 13 days. I thought I had this for 12 days. But I'm on the day chart. That's why. Let's go to the... No, that's probably right. I guess the day chart is that. Or maybe it was a 12-hour. Maybe it was a day. I thought it was a little bit longer. Maybe my measurement's off on that. Yeah. Oh, it's probably because we had a little bit of a relief. But yeah, you can see, I mean, we've been up here for 13 days. Last time we were up here for roughly 18 to 19 days, give or take, right? Probably right around 15 days. So yeah, we still have some days to be up here. I mean, we could fall down and be up here a little bit longer. But you can see, like right here, this is a perfect example. You don't have to fall that much to have a nice relief. Look at that, dude. Oops. Look at this fall right here. If you look right here, very small. It went from roughly 96 down to 80. And we had roughly in that day alone, we had roughly almost an 8% drop. Even though we only fell a little bit and then we bounced back up. So, even if it comes out here at 99, we could have a nice little 5% drop. So let's just say that we actually fall down from this level up here. We fall down, I mean, that's, even if it's 9% drop puts us all the way back down here. But I mean, even if it falls down half of that, puts us right at 225, right at the top of the 236. So I don't know. I'm gonna definitely play that game. I have not used it for the last 3 days. Good afternoon. What's up, guy? Do you think XRP will be worth more than Bitcoin in the long run? That's hard to say. I think Bitcoin right now is kind of like still the grandfather. It's still the granddaddy of crypto. I don't see that going away anytime soon, to be honest with you. It would take a lot for XRP to surpass Bitcoin at this moment. Not saying it couldn't happen, but I mean, yeah, it'd be crazy to say, yeah, for sure. Bitcoin has a lot of momentum right now, dude. A lot more momentum than any other crypto out there. BTC is a pet rock. Hey, Czar dude, what's up, man? What's going on, everyone over here on TikTok here? XRP and HBAR are a couple of main altcoins that get talked about. Yeah. He's leveraged up. Yeah, appreciate you, Andrew. Thanks for answering all the questions over there. Trump said next week 5.1 trillion will come from the UAE into U.S. companies. Yeah, that could be good. I think there was another. Where was it? I might have. Damn it, I might have missed out. But there was another. I want to say it was a 10% on the UAE. Is that what it was? That was another one that came through today. Was a 10% on the UAE. So, not UAE, on the European Union. Huh. That's crazy. The Supreme Court lifts order blocking President Trump's mass federal layoffs. So they're allowing him to allow the mass federal layoffs. Damn. Yeah, it's going to get wild, dude. It's going to get wild. These next couple months are going to get wild, dude. XRP 3188. So we're actually doing exactly what I thought. We're rallying towards the end of the hour. We have 2 minutes left till 1 o'clock. I mean, I would be shocked. We're up to 23190. I mean, it should probably tap into the 3.2. Here we go, 3194. It's doing exactly what I thought was going to happen. It's going to rally into the 4. It's going to rally into the next 4 hour. And that's when I'm going to have my short ready. I want to see this next line. And I could be a little late to the game if I do that. So this next line is probably going to go to the 48 to 50, which we'll see here in about 2 minutes. We'll see here in about 2 minutes. So let's see here. SEC appeal drops plus a bunch of good news. Yeah. 3218. Here we go. 3217. Yeah, we're climbing towards the end of this hour. It's doing exactly what I said. Damn. All right. That definitely plays out. Let's see. 2329 is the peak. So we'll see. We have 1 more minute left. Paul, thanks for becoming a member of the A team. You're officially now a member of the channel. Thank you so much. Make sure you jump in and join that Discord, man. Thank you so much for becoming a member as well. When XRP is going to go up, you are using Lux Algo fair value gap indicator. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm. Here comes the next 4 hour. So where did it end up? Where did the 4 hour end up? Oh wow, we got to the 40, dude. Yeah, dude, look at that fair value gap sitting right there. Yeah, I mean that's definitely it's definitely a shorting opportunity here. Let's actually get over to I'll put a short in on this one. We'll do let's do 20,000. There we go. We're gonna put a 20,000. We're gonna do a 20x. Let's do a 20x, and we'll put 1,000 in on that one. We're gonna go to go to XRP here. Gotta be careful. Sometimes you can really mess it up, and I could be a little late to this game on here. 23213. Sorry, I'm just making sure. 232. I should probably let this play out just a second here. But the short's gonna come in. I'm gonna wait like 10 minutes on this one, and then I'm probably gonna jump in. But I gotta jump off, guys. I got a hard start on this one. So like I said, I do appreciate everyone coming on today and kicking it with me. I gotta jump on this call. So with all that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I did say what's gonna happen here. So with all that. Yep. So with all that, we're out. Peace out, everyone. Appreciate you guys. Peace out.